To me, it just means that I've spent years doing the martial arts, and over that period of time, we've developed a lot of really, really good martial artists. Hi, I'm Lance Strong. I'm a 9th degree martial arts master, and I've been training for 60 years now. Dad was a boxer and a wrestler, and he got me to start doing judo. And that was back in about 1958. And in that time, I trained in judo for over 5 years. And the guy that was teaching us, he was just a brown belt in judo. And it was before karate even came to New Zealand, really, in the early 50s. And so because he was not able to grade us because of his rank, we would just train in judo and just stay as white belts, but we just trained and learned everything we possibly could over that period of time. I had a friend later on that got really interested in boxing and that, so I used to go along to these boxing classes with him. And then he went off and he said this new karate's come into New Zealand, and this was sort of in the late 50s, and that he was going to go along to karate, and did I want to come along? So I went along to Budokan karate, which was the first martial art that I started, and did that for a little while, and then they packed up and left town. So I was tired of the martial arts coming and going in Thames, so I found this system called Zendo Kai, and I met the instructor in Auckland who was at the time he was running Zendo Kai for New Zealand. And I went and started training with him. Tony Renata was his name. And to cut a long story short, worked my way up through the ranks. Over many, many years, we built up a dozen Zendo Kai schools all around the place. And then I wound up being a 6th degree black belt in Zendo Kai and running the Zendo Kai system for New Zealand. During that period of time, I continued to do a lot of my research and study into things like the kata in the martial arts. What is kata all about and what's it used for and that. So as part of that journey, I started traveling to the United States. I first met Grandmaster George Dillman when I went to a Professor Wally J seminar, a small circle jiu-jitsu seminar, and he introduced me to George. And started talking with him, and he started talking to me about how he broke kata down in terms of pressure points and so on. After years of training with him, I also met other Grandmasters, so I spent a lot of time with Professor Wally J, Grandmaster Remy Prisas, who's a 10th degree in modern arnis. They both passed on now. And Grandmaster Leo Fong, who eventually became my main mentor in the martial arts and the master that I most respect from my whole martial arts journey. In 1989, I was running Zendo Kai, and at that stage I had developed a huge syllabus based around all the other studies I'd been doing, plus when I went to the States and started studying with George. In 1990, we decided that all the stuff that we were doing, we needed to incorporate it into our own style, because we had a traditional base, but we built all this other stuff around it. So at that stage, we pulled all our instructors together and said, we're now going to establish a Kyoto-Ryu martial arts system, and that happened in 1990, and it's just grown from there. In the early days, when we were building Zendo Kai and into Kyoto-Ryu, I used to finish work, because I was a training manager for Toyota New Zealand. I used to finish work, and we'd had several other of the high ranks in Kyoto-Ryu. We'd jump in a car and we'd go and teach a class in Pairo, or we'd go and teach a class in Auckland, we'd go and teach a class in Coromandel or Tauranga, and that became the basis of building up the Kyoto-Ryu schools around the place. So when we were establishing Kyoto-Ryu as its own system, through my work at Toyota, I had some big conversations with a 3rd degree black belt in Kendo from Japan. And I said to him, this is what I want our martial art to represent. So what is the right words, what's the right name for it? And so he came up with Ki Aido Ru. And Ki is energy, the I part, AI, is balance and harmony, and Do is the way. So Ki Aido is energy, harmony, and the way of. And then Ru just means school or group. So we're a group that are involved with those elements, and they are like important elements to what we do in our martial art. It always teaches you that you can always go the extra mile. It always teaches you about the right mental attitude to apply, about the warrior spirit to apply in the terms of the way that you do things. And it enables you to achieve a lot more in the other areas of your life as well as your martial arts. And I think martial arts for me has been a lifetime journey, because I'm always learning new things. The greatest reward, and it's the greatest reward anybody can have, is to make a difference in other people's lives. And the internal rewards you get from seeing other people grow and achieve is massive. It's probably the most rewarding things you can do. It's much more rewarding than just gaining material wealth in your life.